Hello, in this video we're going to go through a quick example using our custom cross-section calculator as well as our beam analysis with load combination. And we're going to base this example off of the AISC's example database. In this case, we're using example F.15, which is a plate girder flexural member. For this example, we're only going to look at the deflection component of it. We're not going to look at the capacity checks done in the example. So first things first, I'm going to create my custom cross-section. And I've got a geometry all specified in this diagram here. So I'm going to go to Clear Calcs, and I'm in a US standard right now. Scroll down to the custom cross-section properties, and I'm going to select a generic cross-section. So once that's done, I'm going to quickly switch this to none just so that things go a little faster while I enter the inputs. First thing I can see, I have no fillet radius here because it's a plate girder. So I'm just going to change this now, this radius to 0. So you can see now our cross section doesn't have a radius. Next, I'm just going to go down the list. So it's an ice section. I've got my depth and breadth. So depth is 66 inches. Breadth is 14. So let's type that in. 66 and 14. And my flange thickness is 2 inches, and my web thickness is half an inch. So I'm going to type that in as well. So 2 inches and half an inch. And there we go. We've entered our custom cross section now. So I'm going to go back now and run the full analysis on the cross section. And if we look here, the most important, since we're looking at deflection only, is the moment of area, and it's 67,300 inches to the 4. If I scroll down the example, I can see that matches with the example value, so we're good now. So the next step is going to look at the loading. So we can see we've got a distributed dead load as well as a point dead and live load. So scrolling back up, we're going to create now our beam analysis with load combinations. And let's do ASD, and we're going to do a generic beam. And the first thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to link my cross-section into my analysis. So there's a bit of a weird thing here with the decimals. That's something that should be fixed right away. But in the meantime, we can just see the diagram, and we can see that the dimensions match as we expect them to. So let's go back to our example now. If I look, total length here is 50 feet. So let's type that in. The beam is horizontal and it is simply supported. So we can keep scrolling down directly to our loads now. So if I look, I've only got a dead load and it's in kips per feet. So I can remove the distributed loads in PSF, and I can just enter my line load here from 0 to L, so all the way. And actually, just looking now, I've got my self weight that's 296 pounds per linear foot. That matches awfully close to the 296 pounds per linear foot distributed load. So we're actually, it looks like this is only for the self weight of the girder. So we're just not going to enter this line load. But we've still got the point loads to enter. So we've got 160 kips of live load and 240 kips of dead load. So if I come here, I can add point load at L over 2. And what did we have? We had 240 kips dead load. And we had 160 kips live load. And with that, we've now entered our loads. So going down the example, we can see, since we're in ASD, what we have here. So we would expect 207 kips of shear and 5,090 kip feet of moment. Looking here, that matches, so we're happy. Next thing is we want to look at the deflection. So if we look here, we see that we're looking at the total deflection here. So dead load plus live load, and it's 0.944 inches. So if I look, my live load deflection is 0.369, but since we're only looking at the long-term deflection, that includes our dead and live load, we can see that we're at 0.943 inches, which matches right with the example. So we're happy. So that's how we might use this beam analysis with load combinations to design a beam, or at least find the design values, such as the moment, the shear, and the deflection for a custom cross-section. Coming soon is going to be the actual design where we check the capacity, both in moment and shear of the cross-section. That's all for the example video today. If you've got any questions, you can always click on the blue help button at the bottom right. You'll see we've got a little article here. You can always send us an email and we'll be happy to reply as fast as we can. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.